Ah, ooh, Libra, South Node, baby. Today I'm going to dedicate energy specifically to the South Node in Libra because my spirit said so. The South Node in Libra, when you look at it from a gene key perspective, it actually is in the immune system or what could be considered the spleen. It was literally responsible for us as a society staying healthy in our relationships with other people. And we have to look at what poisons us as a society. And one of the main things within this Libra South Node is hierarchy. Okay, this whole entire pyramid triangle concept, and so many people have been victim to the pyramid schemes. This is a part of that corruption that I'm speaking about, but it goes much deeper than that for the South Node in Libra, which will go through a grand cardinal cross. Okay, between the North Node in Aries, Pluto and Capricorn, the Sun and Cancer all happen at 29 degrees. It will make this moment of complete and absolute explosion where grand cardinal crosses specifically work away from this center focused piece of the fixed energy, the grand fixed cross, for example, and it now begins to individuate. These are considered the angular houses: Libra, Aries, Capricorn, Cancer. And when angular houses do something, it means that we're stepping into literal chaos. um, Chaos being defined as a primordial gap or primordial space or a chasm. So, chaos is originally something that is actually gate three in human design as Aries. It's the North Node in Aries where it's both starting at. It's considered this bad thing where people run on with their head chops off, but the reality is chaos is space, and it's more about the matter of us as human beings, as a society. Again, when we have this much space, there's confusion at the beginning, and that's what the whole thing is about. So this North Node switch and this South Node in Libra, which I want to focus on today, is honestly going to create a tremendous amount of chaos where at the beginning everyone won't know what to do because we haven't had energy in Aries like this in a long time. And energy in Aries says, look, you must follow your impulse, and wherever it leads you, it doesn't actually matter. You got to follow your heart. And so when you now have a collective frequency, the disease that's coming on us with this South Node that's starting to come up and out of us, the disease that we've been going through, which is officially getting ready over the next year and a half, the South Node and Libra to be released and surrendered. This corruption is really looking at, um, you know, how we have mistranslated the message because it has been filtered through the medium and resonance frequency of fear. This is literally the news you see on the television. This is, in a sense, is the corruption and its maintenance of the corruption. And here's what I mean. They give it like DNA and RNA. DNA, you have this double helix in your body. Okay, this is genetic astrology. Let me pull back, ladies and gentlemen. I came out here. I'm like, oh snap! I've been having like prophecies, yo. All right, hit the thumbs up and the likes button, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, you go ahead and do that. You see the retreat here, all right? You rocking, you vibing with everything. You want to work against the corrupt systems that be, whether it be the pharma, whether it be the media, whether it be science, religion. Okay, there's so many facets of this corruption that we're gonna talk about. Hey, baby girl, there's so many facets of this corruption. So definitely check out the retreat. We actually just sent out another invitation. Uh, so that's whatever. That's a whole other side story. We're going through applications. We're going through interviews. All right. People are already in the process of deciding they want to be one of these 10 people that we're capping at here in Guadalajara, Mexico for the Sacred Innovators Retreat. So definitely check that out. If you feel like you're an innovator, you want to, and it's crazy, it's Sacred Innovators because the North Node is literally the gift of innovation. And I'm going to help you try to understand that today. So this is just bonkers because thank God I be listening to God. Okay, so hit the likes and the button, thumbs up. This is your Astro Shaman Pernell Bobby. We are generating an economy, which is all about this South Node in Libra. Okay, all about the South Node in Libra and this Illuminati energy. Okay, this Illuminati of cosmic order, if you will. We're generating an economy of harmony, leveraging human design and genetic astrology. And I just had such a prophecy with this. I'm like, wow, 7 years or so ago, I created a company, the Institute of Life. And I had this exact concept of what all is getting ready to rise up and out of us, especially at the more corrupt and impure levels, because we have been feeding how we program and translate our DNA through the lens of fear. And so here's what I mean. If you have this DNA helix, right? This is me as a human. I'm a double helix. Now, when we get to the triple helixes, this is when we start to completely alter our form, the ways in which we communicate, whether through telekinesis or through essence and energy just in the sky, whether it's through light, rays, and beams where we lose our physical form, or we completely mutate to some modified, animal human combination. What's going to happen when you get a triple helix? Quite frankly, I don't think any of us knows. And this is the part of the shadow frequencies of literal chaos. At the beginning, we just don't know, and so people act a little weird. And when people don't know, what happens is you get corruption through chaos, right? So this is the DNA, but it has to get translated. The step before the translation of the DNA to be the double helix, to make me a human being what I am, where I get sick to the things that I get sick to, whether it's mucus, whether it's um, dementia in the mind, whatever that is, whatever that sickness. Libra is responsible for about four of the gates in our immune system. It is focusing on the purification process through the kidneys and so much more. The metabolism, okay, so much more. So RNA is now the code. It's the script. Okay, Libra, air sign, communication, a writer, okay, exalted in society, physical earth, Saturn, okay, Venus, the poet energy of Venus, the poetry. Libra has the energy. It's the poet of DNA, and it writes out our transcription. Now the difficulty is, we fell so deep into the narratives of one wanting to be what seems like life to be rich and millionaire. Somebody said last night, "Oh yeah, you're gonna be a millionaire," and I was like, and it was a natural, instinctive gut response, and it kind of was like, one end is like, yes, I absolutely know that that's true. On another end, I'm like, that's not exciting for me because it's like that means that somebody else is poor. That means that I'm taking and creating some sense of disharmony by tipping the scales of the equilibrium more on this side. Somebody else is hungry, right? So on one end, it's like what I intend to do with that wealth. That's a different story, but it's not like I'm not happy for this. It's not like it's like, you feel me? So um, Libra is the script. It writes the DNA. This is the main important piece. The problem is, before it gets translated into DNA, Libra is writing that out, and it is confused. It is unconscious, and it is programming us and our software to the fact that to the point of sickness, to the point of disease, a cultural disease, a social disease. And this social disease is hierarchy. So the whole transformation of this Libra South Node and what's coming up is all of the forms of the people who have basically brought into certain social responsibilities. And I was just thinking about this the other day, like thinking about my sister and the family members, and like, the family core unit is a part of Libra. Why? Because the parent is not pursuing their creative expression, what's unique about them, what's innovative about them, okay, the chaos of the divine feminine, where they ultimately work into this, you know innocent forms of play. They're now programming their children, and their children, the most detrimental thing to a child is to watch that their parent has dreams that are unlived. So everything I just said is the South Node in Libra right now. Everything I just said is South Node in Libra, where we need to switch that script, where from the first 0 to 7 years of age, when we go through our spiritual wounding happens from 0 to 7 years old. Our spirit, our creativity, our play, our childlike energy is wounded in that young ass phase. So we essentially need to start having parents to rewrite the script, where when I was growing up, my mom didn't let me watch TV. It's just what it was. And if I did, it was really controlled in her own way. And then it wasn't. And it's interesting. I'm going to explain this. But it wasn't things like BET. It wasn't MTV. It wasn't reality TV. It wasn't music shows. It was cartoon and animated stuff and yada yada yada. And then even when I grew up, I wasn't allowed to play video games, which is programming violence within me, feeding this singular cell organism within me, which is part of the chaos of Aries, where we do have this uh, where we grew from the mentality of survival, which is Aries and is Mars energy, this Martian energy of I just care about my single and individual survival. And so I didn't get to feed a lot of this stuff, right? That creates, in a sense, the corruption of this code that I'm transcribing in this software that I'm programming, that we're all programming. And so now I'll probably likely do this in a sense for my child and improve the process. And what happens is we're reaching the gift frequency of Libra and South Node in Libra of equilibrium, where equilibrium is literally making this differentiation of the chasm that is created through chaos of just being at the beginning and everyone has to follow their individual impulse. I now get rid of the hierarchy by falling into what is considered a heterarchy, where now we feed the single organism within the economy and we promote them to play innocently and love and laugh and, you know, follow their impulse and essentially rewrite this concept of us being this singular cell organism and realize that we're a multi-cell organism. We always have been. And by doing that, we now have this circular, space of equilibrium and harmony. Harmony being attained when it's completely balanced on the left and the right, and then now it just completely fuses into one. Scorpio, the sign after Libra, which merges. We just went through that South Node in Scorpio. Okay, so we know how to merge and become an absolute entity of one. Now understand that Scorpio is the opposite energy of Aries. Aries is considered this singular organism, and Scorpio is considered the social collective, now all a part of one. Libra is that final step, the step before the actual merge. The step before the chasm is the part that leads us out of the chaos. Okay? So hit the thumbs up and the likes button. Stay with me. I have a full message. I'm trying to really wrap my whole mind around it and give us. So this heterarchy, not the hierarchy, now doesn't say that somebody's at the top and a bunch of people at the bottom. It says that we're all in this circle. And this circle depends on each individual unit within it. We spend time and energy on individuals to say, look, if one person out of a million is out of sync, then the entire circle fails. So if one person has more money than the other, then we all fail. If one person has more access to certain people, places, entities, pleasures than the other, then we all fail. But if we keep feeding this the assets, the creativity, the energy, even the excitement of being uncertain and just not knowing and letting beauty be manifested from innocently not knowing and pursuing and start to trust. Oh snap, that was a demon. I just smacked the hell out of that thing. I don't even like hitting animals or bugs, but that one was something possessed. They don't want this self node message to get out. They're like, he's ruining our system of fear. He's bringing enlightenment. He's a singular individual, and he's going to ultimately transmit and help be a part of all the individuals who create a singular cell organism that is really a multi-cell organism of a bunch of singular individuals. This is what they don't want you to do. This is why I get shadow banned on a consistent base and have been for years. This is why I get kicked off of every media platform over and over and over, and I keep rebuilding it over and over and over. And that's a part of Pluto and Capricorn and Gate 60, where it's like, look, you're going to meet certain limitations on this Grand Cardinal Cross, and it's about learning how to work within the limitations. I won't lie, sometimes it gets me. Sometimes the corruption really messes me up, and I'm like, yo, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. And they're like, the gods are like, yes, you are, son, which is why we're going to keep taking care of you. So this is the Libra South Node. It's ultimately about realizing that whether you are the people who are running these mega corporations where you're likely poisoning everyone else, you're part of the 1%. This is, you may be considering them the part of the Illuminati, and it's like, in some ways, yes, they are, but in more ways than one, we're all a part of the Illuminati because we all have this deeply embedded into our cellular walls, where when we move beyond, keyword, move beyond the separateness of what's special and unique about my identity, we realize that my unique identity is really a part of the fact that I'm a part of everything at the same time. And it's when we can surrender that and realize that my individual role is actually important. Where we fall into the shadow frequency, we realize that, oh, I as one entrepreneur, I as one star, I cannot make a difference. And it's like absolutely false. The more individualistic you as an entrepreneur will be, and this is what the Aries North Node is going to teach us over the next year and a half, the more individualistic you will be forced to cut away anything that does not match that pure frequency. And the only people that will be a part of your tribe will be the only people who also pursue their innocence and their creativity and their innovative love for existence to create equilibrium. Only those people will match that frequency. And everybody will be considered a part of a social society where we release the social responsibilities of this is what it means to be a girl, this is what it means to be a man, this is what it means to live in in a impoverished place, a place of poverty, or this is what it means to live in this culture and society. Because what happens is we have this cauldron, and you've seen this cauldron through all mythical and even religious texts, where this cauldron is now Libra South Node. It's the fact that the world has poured all of these different cultures and societies and languages and, different upbringings, where you got parents who, make the children work and come back and give the parents the money. You got other cultures mixing in where, the parents are here to take care of the children, and the children have to do nothing, absolutely nothing on the financial level. You got culture. You see the point. You have all these mixed. You got Indians and Caucasians and Africans and Mexicans and red people, yellow people, blue people, purple people. You got trees and plants. You got somebody like me who's an international traveler. When they say don't bring seeds and fruits from other countries into this country, and I'm like, F off, I'm bringing whatever I want in the plane, and I'm eating food, and they're asking me at customs, did you bring food across the border, or seeds or plants or crystals? And I'm like, hell yeah, I did. But to you, no, I didn't, kind sir, kind woman. And it's like working against the corruption in our own individual way. That's me, my own individual way, which ultimately I'm now going to attract other people that do the exact same thing, even if they don't say nothing. We're going to now commune in a tribe. This within itself is the molecular structure and literal draw and attraction that we value, true value, as a social beings, to create equilibrium and to create harmony. Where it's like, we all gonna connect, and everybody outside that frequency, you're not gonna match, you're gonna fall out. And it's like, you know around a membership, for example, I'm running an economy where, like, I want people to exchange goods. And the whole thing behind this is they don't need to come through me in order to make this exchange. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I first started into life, it's like I had a person who was an artist and a person who was a physical therapist and the person who was a chiropractor, and, like, without my knowing, all of them are meeting. The hierarchy says, oh, y'all all need to come through me because I created this. No, it's like, look, Aries is like, look, the North Node is like, look, you're going to create something, you're going to spark an innovative idea, and then it's about letting it go and realizing that the social collective, the community can run it, the economy can run it without my oversight, without my overseeing. But the fact that we have all this oversight and we have all these people saying, here's what you can and cannot do, this is what is completely getting ready to be dismantled in the next year and a half. And I'm so getting excited, ladies and gentlemen. You know how long I, as an Aries, a triple Aries, have been waiting for something like this to finally be respected as an individual and realize that my individual efforts create and contribute to the collective Illuminati, the natural thing running within us. Where we reach this Illuminati of divine and cosmic order, we no longer need oversight. We no longer need, you know, the hierarchy of education and going to 4 years extra school or doctorates. And it's like all the corruption of, I had this very quick example. I went to the I didn't walk for like 3 months, not 3 months. I didn't walk for like 8 months. That's a whole different story. More recent, like 3 weeks, I was like 2 weeks complete limp. I was like, yo, I was getting worried. The fear started to seep through me, and me seeing this lens through fear, I began to write a transcription code of blah blah blah. And then I'm going to this doctor. The first guy I see, he's like, yo, you know what, like, I'm not gonna charge you, bro. Like, you're not even here, nothing I could do could do you, and then I think you have X, Y, and Z going on with your leg. And I'm like, okay, cool. He's like, well, here, I have a friend, you can go see him. So that's his network, right? The problem was, when I go see his friend was not the same. His friend was in a greedy state of mind. His friend was in right, it don't work. It works very different. The healthcare system works very different. I'm in Mexico. It's like, you don't need insurance, you don't do that, you got a set fee. They have their consultation fee, and it's like, I talked to this guy for not even like 6 minutes, and he's like, boom boom boom, okay, give me money. And I'm like, you didn't do anything, you didn't tell me nothing at all. In fact, I told you what is going on, and I'm paying you for you to confirm that what I'm saying is correct. And then you want me to go pay for the MRI separate, and then you want me to come back and do surgery. What? And then I just had to come back to the individual self with my organism and be like, you know what, Pernell, you are running a retreat, you're running a sacred innovators retreat, and you have been working with injuries for God knows how long. You went to school as an exercise physiologist. You understand the physical body. You understand how to heal yourself. You've been healing people for years, for eons, for decades, for multiple lifetimes. Why don't you just do this breathwork exercise? And so then I do this integrative medicine techniques that I've learned through different masters and gurus of mine that I've met over the years. And I started sitting there and doing some fascia manipulation along with the combination of ujjayi breathing, transporting that air right there. And then eventually this exact dis-ease or dis-ease began to heal itself. Now, as I do this as an individual, everyone else that does do this, they match this frequency and they also say, yeah, F the doctors, F this hierarchy. We got our own system of healers, of shamans, of witch doctors, and we're going to remember exactly who we are. Now, part of that is to do with gate 33 when we do retrograde Venus and Leo, but that's a different story. That's part of those past life memories and the sankaras, and I've talked about this in different videos, so I'm not going to go there. This is the Libra South Node, ladies and gentlemen. This is us coming back to the true Illuminati of cosmic order where we are all one. And in order for us to all be one, hierarchies have to be disbanded, dismantled. And the fact that Gate 60, Pluto and Capricorn is doing this, I realized why I had part of my collective rage because I'm like, look, I don't go to the doctor. I never do. I have not. I've been to the dentist in like 8 to 10 years. I have only been to the hospital maybe twice in the last 10 to 20. One time in Thailand, I had another sickness, illness. I couldn't figure the fuck out. Excuse my language. I couldn't figure it out. You know, this one just happened, and I let the fear lens write and transcribe this, right? And I had to really come back and realize, oh wow, Pernell, God made you go through this so you can feel the collective fear and realize what is the corruption that people are going through. Why did you stop going to this stuff years ago? Why do you run into the life and you want all these healers and these medicine men and women to be a part of the unit? Why? And I had to get back to that why I began, why I started, and realize, holy crap, I've been on track way before I knew I was. And that's just allowing God to lead the way. Truthfully, it's allowing God to lead the way. And I had to experience that collective rage. So I can come back and realize, yes, Pernell, you getting back in tune with the purpose. You're getting back in tune with the mission. So this is the South Node right now. The South Node is ripping and taking the roots out of corruption. Whether you're the person who's unconsciously being the part of that 1% who is allowing greed to really just ruin and corrupt your mind and covetedness and wanting what other people want to structure you in a negative way. Libra and Capricorn, that square is gonna really jack you up. Okay, it's gonna jack you up. The whole thing behind this is about getting closer to intimacy, and intimacy be defined as honesty, honesty within the community, honesty between our one-on-one and significant reactions and interactions. Okay, South Node is bringing up, and it's gonna show you all the people that you were being dishonest with. And it's like for me now, I'm running a membership and running a retreat. The reason we have application process is because like I need to make sure that we're intimately filtering this through honest lens of spirituality, of divinity, of sacred connection and realities. This is why this retreat is existing. I didn't know that at the time, but following God, it's like this is the chasm, the gap in the middle I'm talking about that programs this Libra gate 50 and Gene Keys is gate 50. I never actually said that. It's gate 50 in human design. It programs gate 3, which is the North Node in Aries, which is this chasm, this chaos in the beginning. And this chaos in the beginning, it needs true leaders. It needs individual leaders who already have done it, and others who are willing to be that same individual who are willing to do it, and then they will match and mesh, and eventually that energetic signature will reach equilibrium where it gets smaller and smaller as for what the divide is from the left to the right, from the up to the down, as above so below. As the divide gets smaller, it gets so small eventually it reaches this point of pure bliss and harmony. True harmony decided by the level of honest intimacy that we have in our interaction with other people. The fact that with interaction with other people, we don't care about who these governing bodies are who want to suppress and oppress us. Within our own individual cellular unit, we realize that now we no longer need interpersonal skills. We don't need to be able to talk well to somebody else. It's just a matter of us, Archangel Michael, we setting off alarms, baby. Let's go. They want to get me. You ain't gonna get me, baby. I can feel that. I'm telling you, I feel that anger just raging through me. I feel that collective anger. I feel you right now. I swear to God, I feel you. And I promise you, I'm gonna do the best I can to knock these mother lovers out. Okay? And we've been doing it. We just gotta wait for the world to catch up and realize and witness what has been going on and realize that we are protected. I swear to God, we are protected. There's this open protection. You could do the best you want. You could do the best you want. You could hate. You could try to spam my videos. You could do all the best. You could do the best you want. You ain't gonna win. You ain't gonna win. You ain't gonna win. All right. Listen. Hit the thumbs up and the likes button, ladies and gentlemen. I'm back into my happy atmosphere and internally. But I be feeling this sometimes. I'm telling you, I be feeling this collective rage. I be wanting to yo, man, the corruption, it is there, it exists, but we have to realize that what we put our attention on the harmony, we put our attention on the economy and the honesty within our interaction, realize that we can trust. I know that I put the real emphasis on my membership. It's like, you know what, like if you ain't part of it, get the hell out. You don't want to rock this frequency, get out. Make some space for somebody else that wants to get in, who wants to align with this frequency. And people are getting challenged and sharpened every day. I promise you, people that are around me are getting challenged and getting sharpened every day. And it's like, look, iron sharpen iron. And if you're going to come in here with some tinfoil nonsense, you're going to get cut. It is what it is. And this is the North Node, but I wanted to spend the time on the South Node energy of Libra. What does it take to reach harmony and equilibrium? It takes us to dismantle the hierarchies. So the closer you start involving yourself in communities that no longer have a hierarchy, I try to tell people all the time, it's like, look, I'm not your guru, I'm not your teacher, I'm not your leader. I'd rather you consider me a peer. I don't want to be the millionaire. I want to be able to share this wealth, considering that wealth is really about love. Wealth is really about intimacy. Wealth is really about the wealth of honesty in our significant relationships, in our groups, in our society. Hit the thumbs up and the likes button, ladies and gentlemen. Really join us for this retreat down here in Mexico, the Sacred Innovators. The early bird does end September 5th. If you get all your funds in by then, you'll get a little like $500 discount or something like that off the total price. And remember, we do run that 8 weeks worth of mentorship. After the retreat, we have a month break, give you the time to integrate the lessons you learned here live in person. We have a month break, and then after that month break, and you hit that thumbs up and that likes button, we do 8 weeks worth of follow-up guidance and mentorship. And this is a lot of really getting you to be a sacred innovator. It's like, look, at the end of the day, I want you to step in the space of entrepreneur and make money. If I'm being honest, that's my personal intake on it. That's literally a little part of my own personal, and I know how to help you do that. And Eileen has her own parts that she's gonna provide and incorporate, and she'll tell you about that. We'll do more lives talking about this. But if you made it to the end, drop a Libra sign. If you really vote for harmony, you vote for equilibrium, you vote for this hierarchical system to crash, drop the Libra, drop the scales in the chat. If you made it to the end of this video, let me know you're there. Support the algorithm, help the video out, get this out there to people, okay, in the world. Check out Hannah and myself. We're in the video right here. You see here, we're doing tomorrow the Grand Cardinal Cross. I'm surging with energy. This gate has a lot to do with that Grand Cardinal Cross as well, but I want to focus specifically on the South Node and Libra. So drop the Libra symbol down below. Let the people out there in the world know Libra is where it's at. It's where it's been. I love you. Thank you for the likes and the subscription. Hit that thumbs up, baby. I'll see you soon. This is your Astro Shaman, Pernell. We are generating an economy of harmony. Before I even knew it, leveraging human design and genetic astrology. Libra symbol.